Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Pluto in the sixth house in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on Pluto placements in the houses. They were a little bit concise, and some people may have referred to them as snappy. So what I decided to do is make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So first thing up, well, Pluto in the sixth house can be comparable to Pluto in Virgo, but naturally you've got to blend in the zodiac sign with it. Pluto in Virgo in the sixth house can be different than Pluto in Pisces in the sixth house, as an example. Now, Pluto in astrology is connected with our passion and desires. So if you have Pluto posited in the sixth house in the natal chart, a lot of your passion and desire may be injected into work-related matters, employment, the daily routine, if you're providing some kind of service for others, being of service to others, and also just doing could be matters with your health, fitness, diet, such as working out vigorously. It could be in matters with hygiene as well, and just it could even be like analysis, compiling, allocating data. Keep in mind the sixth house does correspond with the zodiac sign Virgo. It may be doing something with statistics or nutrition, um, diagnostic work, and it could be working with pets, like working as a veterinarian, or some other, Virgo related field. Now, Pluto in astrology is associated with our intimate connections. So if you have Pluto in the sixth house, you may meet, and somebody you become intimately involved with. It could be at your place of employment, might be connected with the work you do, or some, service, you may provide, for others. Pluto, say, is in Sagittarius in the sixth house as an example. There could be some service, connected with publishing or advertising, as some examples. And Pluto and Scorpio may be locksmithing, as another example as far as service goes. And it could be too, intimate connections may be such where they could be very industrious, health conscious. They may be very involved with fitness, diet, nutrition. Could be people that emphasize, their hygiene, cleanliness, and may take on, Virgo-like, embody Virgo-like characteristics such as being analytical, punctilious with details, wanting to be a perfectionist, even pedantic, even verbose and wordy as well. Now, Pluto in astrology is also connected with power and control. So if you have Pluto in the sixth house, there may be more of a desire to have that power and control more so in your daily routine than most people on average. Your schedule, what you do as far as making your own schedule. And the thing is, it could be, just your health in general, employment related matters, and your matters with pets, if you have any servants, fellow employees. There may be power struggles with these people as well as far as fellow employees go, and even with an aunt or an uncle. This could be, you know, um, having a Pluto in astrology is also connected with transformation and major change. So if you have Pluto in the sixth house, well, you may experience at some point in time, some major change or transformation connected, with your physical health, or it may be matters with hygiene, your diet. Maybe it's a connection with an aunt or an uncle, fellow employees. It might be something, with nutrition, with your diet. Um, Maybe having this placement There may also be, transformation or major change may be something, there may be a little greater propensity to worry about more so. There's, because keep in mind that again, the sixth house does correspond with the zodiac sign Virgo, and the transformation may be done in a very, systematic, methodical type manner as well. Now, Pluto in astrology is also associated with rebirth and regeneration. So if you have this placement, at some point in time there may be a revival, something work related that you do, employment. Um, it could be, say if Pluto is in Libra in the sixth house, that employment may be something connected, with law or art. As some examples, or something with arbitration, fashion. It could be where there's a rebirth or some kind of regeneration or revival in a relationship with an aunt or an uncle, or even your physical health or matters with hygiene as well. Clothing, it might be clothing that you had worn, many years ago, and even if you thought it was outdated, maybe there comes a time where you bring it back again, you know, such as, something where you feel it's nostalgic as an example. And also too, when you look at Pluto in astrology is also connected with death and endings, and not just, literal death. It's about, figurative death, endings, obliterations. Endings are not always bad. Figurative deaths are not always negative. It could be something in some service-related matter. You might experience more endings with this, people that provide some kind of service to you or vice versa. It could be some kind of employment situation, something, work-related. Um, if Pluto is in Capricorn in the sixth house, as an example, it could be that thing that's work related can be connected with government or political work, or doing something with accounting, dentistry, masonry, as some examples. And also to the death and endings, some cases it could be, some, connection again, as far as something work related, but also, something in which you might have provided, some help to somebody one way or another, or some kind of, health related, situation, or a diet that you may have been on that wasn't satisfactory, and it comes to an end, and you may become, cognizant of this at some point. Now, another thing about Pluto in astrology, it's connected with support, whether it's moral, emotional, or monetary support. So if you have Pluto in the sixth house, well, the thing about this is there may, the support, that you're giving and receiving, you may often, analyze and, see like if it's balanced or not, say especially if Pluto is in Libra, that might be something that you really, not just analyze, but, see the fairness in it, whether it's a fair give and take in matters of support. In terms of your fellow employees as well, you may often provide support to those people, or even doing something. The sixth house is also connected with long distance travel, um, of the dominant parent, because keep in mind the dominant parent, which is often the father, because this is 9 houses, from the 10th house. And the thing about this is you have to keep in mind too, when you have, when you're talking about Pluto in astrology, it's also connected, with the aunts and uncles. So you may provide, some more support for these people more so than most others on average. Support may be given in a very methodical manner. And it may be, in terms of, giving support, in terms of doing something that involves some diagnosis, or, something where you provide some service to people too as well. And the thing too is, Pluto in astrology is also associated with surgery and trauma. So if you have Pluto posited in the sixth house in a natal chart, well, keep in mind the sixth house again does correspond with Virgo. So there may be, some surgery or trauma connected with the spleen, something of an intestinal nature, an abdominal issue, something with the solar plexus. It may impact, your work, your employment more so than most people on average. Um, it could be where maybe it makes it more difficult to do things associated with hygiene, staying clean. And I keep in mind being Pluto, having Pluto in the sixth house could indicate some Plutonian, related work. Whether it's something working as psychology or as a locksmith, something with forensics, investigation, insurance, taxes, or even the occult, which includes astrology. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.